Kia ora, Chris with NIWA with his weather update. We're talking about a long weekend, Matariki weekend, and a change in the weather. It's been chilly the past several days, particularly, but not exclusively for the South Island. That change is going to come with some showers. So this is Thursday morning if you are going to work, and I suppose school, as you should be. You'll see that there is rain forecast to be pretty much up and down the west of the South Island, including the top of the South Island across Nelson, Tasman. Maybe a few odd showers toward Taranaki. Matariki viewing, looks marginal, but I think your best chance for a good sky is going to be in the Bay of Plenty over toward Tarafiti, Gisborne, Hawke's Bay region. There'll be some high cloud across the Auckland and Northland, maybe Waikato region, so that may kind of, dim the celestial sky early on Thursday morning. So let's watch this rain. What's going to happen? By the way, falling as snow about 1,500 meters. It's pretty high snow level. As we play this through, you can see that there will be these showers of rain impacting the west of the South Island. I doubt much that, if any of that gets to Christchurch, you may actually stay largely dry, though your Matariki sky is not looking very good early Thursday morning with cloud cover. That band of rain does move north with time, and you can see by, say, 2:30 in the afternoon, let's kind of zoom into the North Island because that's where the band of rain is forecast to be. And there could be a few thunderstorms. I wouldn't rule that out. Let's check the lightning forecast. A couple thunderstorms, distinctly possible. Certainly some brief pockets of heavy rain. This is, again, around 2:30 in the afternoon in the South Waikato, eastern Taranaki, down to the eastern Manawatu, maybe toward Palmerston North and Masterton, seeing some showers. That rain probably has cleared Wellington by 2 or 3 in the afternoon. A few spotty showers up near Auckland, but continuing to play this through, you can see how those showers do make their way into the Auckland area. And by sometime after sunset, probably the evening commute, let's hope it's after, but could be evening commute, those heavier showers move into the Auckland area, maybe a few thunderstorms. And those showers and potentially thunderstorms, thundery showers, they persist into the Waikato, as you can see, well into the evening hours. So the message is, if you have evening plans on Thursday from the Waikato to the Auckland and I suppose lower or southern Northland regions, be prepared for some wet weather, and that may extend into Tauranga. Let's go to the South Island. What about your weekend getaway for the South Island? Look, if you're traveling, there will be showers of rain, maybe some steadier rain early on Thursday morning. Here we are about midday Thursday and around early Thursday afternoon. Still some showers of rain. Haast, Hokitika, mainly conservation land across the national parks, and some of that, as I say, falling as snow, but it's going to have to be pretty high up. How much rain may fall? Let's get crazy and look at the rainfall forecast by way of one of my favorite animations, the bar plot. So this is a rolling 6-hour forecast. So we're looking, say, from, in this example, let me just set this up here. So this is right there, 6 o'clock in the morning, we'll call it, right? So this is saying from midnight to 6 a.m., this is the predicted rainfall. Then if we go a little farther ahead to, say, 8 o'clock, this is the predicted rainfall from 2 a.m. to 8 a.m. Again, a rolling 6-hour window. And what's kind of cool about this, apart from, if I can be honest, a bit of eye candy, it looks pretty cool, is that you can really see as I play this through how that band of rain kind of marches north with time, kind of like this rising wave and falling wave. So that band of rain moves north. You can see that things do settle down a bit during the afternoon, but we'll get these waves of rain throughout much of the day for the South Island, the west of the South Island. If we go farther north and position our view a little bit differently, let's watch the rain advance north with time, and you can see how Taranaki, over toward the lower North Island, I beg your pardon, they first get into the rainfall. And that rain, look at the color bar. I mean, that's that's pink, 50 millimeters in 6 hours about Mount Taranaki. Yeah, could happen. But for most areas, probably not that high. Some locations you can see here could see amounts 40, 50 millimeters over 6 hours. A different way of slicing that is by looking at rainfall more traditionally. So here is the expected rainfall by 6 o'clock in the evening Thursday. Let's just take it to midnight, why don't we? And you can see the heaviest rain is likely to be in this region. 30, 20, 40 millimeters of rain. About the Central Plateau, the higher elevations, some spotty 40 or 50 millimeters. Pardon me, and also likewise across about the Munga. Over toward the Northland region, maybe around Dargaville or south of there, Kaipara, you can see 40, 50 millimeters of rain. Auckland may actually miss out on some steadier rain. We'll see if that happens. Now, it's been cold, as I mentioned. Let's have a look at temperatures during the day on, let's back things up. We are recording this. I should mention this. Should have said this earlier if I haven't. Sorry. It's Wednesday afternoon. We are recording this on the 18th day of June. Just a few days to the solstice. In fact, let me double check when the solstice is. Winter solstice 2025. I should have this committed to memory. So this is the 21st of June at 2:41 in the afternoon. So 21st of June, 2:41 in the afternoon. Mark it. That is the when the sun hits the Tropic of Cancer in the northern hemisphere, and that's when it reaches its lowest point in the sky for us. Anyway, enough of the astronomical. And by the way, this is when some purists would say that's when really winter truly begins, and you may be right. So, temperatures. You know what's interesting, and everything's interesting with weather, isn't it? I mean, come on, let's be honest. The coldest temperatures are actually going to be Wednesday evening. So what I'm going to do is zoom in here to, say, the South Island. And this is, I'll just go to, 9 o'clock in the evening, and I'll just run my cursor. And you can see a lot of 1, a lot of 2s, 3s, right? This is the kind of the flavor, 4, 2, 3, 4 degrees in this area. Watch what happens as we put this in motion. That blue kind of melts away. And we're going into the overnight. Typically, temperatures get colder, but look at that. The blue continues to kind of go away, and that's because of our wind. So our wind will be increasing, stirring the air a bit, and also coming from the kind of a warmer wind direction. It will lower the wind chill, I suppose, but the wind will be highest over the higher terrain. But just that simple change in direction and a little bit of speed, that's going to bring in some milder air. In fact, we can see that quite nicely. One of my most favorite animations is the dew point animation, because this is like, as I say, throwing a dye in water. You can really see how things move and get the kind of the nooks and the crannies of the fluid. In this case, air, not water, but it is a fluid just like water. And let me just center this a little bit better. So bringing this back a little bit, you can see, doesn't that look, come on. This is art. Just look how the gaseous nature over here where I'm pointing. That's just so nice to look at. Anyway, I digress. Playing this back one more time. You can see this yellow. This is higher moisture content, higher dew point temperatures, and that's with the front. So that's going to tug down. We're tugging down warmer air, a bit more moisture. And as a consequence, that's where the rain is coming from. At any rate, during the day on, let's say Friday, the actual public holiday, let's have a look. Zooming out just a little bit, kind of getting our bearings. I think the actual public holiday is looking decent for most. Decent. You can see 9 o'clock in the morning, there will be showers across Northland, it looks like. Some showers still on the west of the South Island. See, the west of the South Island, you're going to be exposed to this kind of onshore, sort of unstable southwest flow of air. So it's the west of the South Island that is exposed to these, to the ocean, to the Tasman Sea, and that chilly air moving over the Tasman Sea and causing those showers of rain, as you can see here quite nicely. So on the west of the South Island, the lower South Island, so toward Invercargill, there will be showers of rain. So not a great Matariki day, it looks like, for lower and western portions of the South Island. There'll be some spotty showers across the central portion of the North Island. If you're wondering about Matariki viewing, early on Friday morning, let's say go to 5 o'clock, doesn't look all that flash, does it? Really sorry to say. I suppose the best chances for decent conditions, I'm going to say the lower North Island for Matariki, so Wellington, the Wairarapa, maybe Hawke's Bay. I think the eastern portion of the South Island looks pretty promising, I'll say. Christchurch, south of Timaru and Oamaru, there will be some, looks like a lack of cloud cover, but you go on the other side of the range is certainly the cloud with those areas of showers. Let's go back to that wind, because will wind be a factor during the day on Friday? If you're in Dunedin, it'll be a gusty, chilly day, a nice day for a big bowl of chili and something substantial to keep you warm. Also, a bit of a breeze north of Christchurch. It's really the North Island, the lower North Island, where we could see winds pretty gusty. So let's clean that up. So what I'm going to do is show you some indicative wind gust. The wind gusts are what I'm pointing to right here, that 85. So Yeah, there'll be some. This is over higher elevations, but anywhere in the gold, those are 50K wind gust forecasts. So always mind the color bar. That's 50K. If you see the red, that's 100K. Thankfully, we don't see a lot of that, but certainly gusty wind around it, especially north of Christchurch, Dunners, over toward Palmerston North, the Central Plateau, and that's simply going to add some chill to the air. So while temperatures will be, 14 degrees, Dunedin, 10 degrees, you chuck in a gusty wind, it's going to feel much cooler than that. So just plan for that if you're going to be out and about. So the best chance for rain, once again, on Friday looks to be Invercargill, Gore, maybe Dunedin, Haast, Hokitika, and some spotty showers across the central portion of the North Island. If you're wondering about Auckland, a third of the population doesn't live in the Auckland area. Some early showers, but then improving weather. So it looks to be a decent day for Hamilton, Auckland. Yeah, pretty decent day. That's for sure. Let's go to Saturday, switching gears. First day of astronomical winter, as we said. How are things looking Saturday? Pretty quiet. Some early showers for the east of the South Island. This is 10 o'clock in the morning. Not exactly very sunny. Perhaps the west of the South Island. I take that back. That could be a place where sunshine is actually quite abundant. So Haast, Hokitika, over toward Westport, Greymouth, could see a fairly sunny sky. But farther north, some spotty showers, breezy for Wellington, Taranaki, cloud, and probably some showers. Probably a few showers in Auckland. So if we're wondering Friday or Saturday outdoor plans, I'd make them on Friday if you had to pick between those 2 days, Friday or Saturday. Not that Saturday will be awful, just that there probably will be at least a few showers around on Saturday, particularly western portions of Auckland and western Waikato. Let's have a look at wind. Is wind going to be an issue? A little breezy. You can see Saturday afternoon, especially Wellington, South Coast, Wairarapa, over toward Banks Peninsula, Christchurch, a gusty southerly. Temperatures, not terrible. I would say certainly not as cold as it's been. Up north, 15, 14, 16 degrees across Northland, maybe the Auckland area, and certainly cooler, more like 9, 10, 11 degrees for Christchurch. This is on Saturday. If you're going to the big rugby match, test match, the grand final in Christchurch, I think that's in Christchurch, yeah, it is, looking pretty good. Looks to be generally dry, not much of a wind, so good news there. So weather not a factor, I suppose. What about Sunday? Sunday! Ooh, yeah, here comes another front, but that's West Coast, so pretty potent front. You can see, wow, look at that. That's pretty beefy. You can see the change in wind direction. Just clean that up a little bit there. You can see quite nicely where I'm going to draw here because I like drawing. So this is our frontal zone. It's a spectrum of change, and right there is the wind shift. So that is the actual front, and that is forecast to move through during the day, probably Sunday for the South Island. So let's go to our cloud and rain forecast. You can see here, just kind of tightening the view a little bit, the front will bring, let's get rid of that. The front will bring a pretty good drop of rain. It will bring some gusty wind. It'll probably peter out. Indications are on Sunday as it moves north. It kind of gets sheared off to the east. So the rain on Sunday night into early Monday looks minimal for the lower North Island. Yeah. What about? Let's have a look at 850 temperatures. Actually, we can get a better look at that puff of chilly air. Yeah, it's a glancing blow. And then it warms up. So, look, I almost buried my lead. I mean, there's a couple things I got to open with here, but it is going to warm up. So, yes, we have this puff of chilly, a real quick puff of chilly air. So there's midday Sunday, and there's midday Monday. It's about 24 hours, quite literally. And notice by midday or thereabouts Tuesday, our airflow is once again coming from the west and northwest. That's a warm wind direction. Initially, it was southerly, like right here. You see that? That's a southerly. Then eventually, it goes west to northwest, just like that, you see? So it is going to warm up. If you like warmer temperatures, if that's your jam, I think next week, starting from Tuesday, especially into Wednesday, we are going to see noticeably warmer temperatures invade, if I can use that term, Aotearoa, New Zealand, and that will certainly that'll certainly be a change. We've had some chilly temperatures over the past week or so, but we are still expecting a warmer than average winter. It's only been about 2.5 weeks of winter, so plenty of winter to go through. And we're probably going to see some rain, too, next week for the west of the South Island. Probably going to get wet, quite wet again for the west of the South Island. So once again, Matariki weekend looking generally, I would say, favorable. If we zoom out once again, just a quick recap. A best chance for rain is going to be Thursday evening across the North Island. West of the South Island is another area where rain will fall Thursday. Friday looks to be still unsettled for the west and lower portions of the South Island. Looks pretty good for the North Island, apart from Northland, where those showers may linger to about early afternoon. So in Whangarei and Kaitaia, you'll probably see showers on Friday through about midday, lunchtime, or thereabouts, but late day clearing, late day. And then on Saturday, it looks like we'll find the threat of showers perhaps in the west of the North Island near Auckland. So that's it from me. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you next time. I'm NIWA forecaster Chris Brandolino. Namahi Nui.